In this episode, I'm with Billie Jean Shaw, the GOAT of video ads.
That's the sound of opportunity knocking. Some entrepreneurs will skip this ad because they're allergic to opportunity. Have you ever run a Facebook ad? Lost money and got really mad. That's a combo of sad and mad. Listen close and I'll fix your ads.
Speed is the only game. And the reason why speed is so important is because most of the shit that you guys test will not work. And then ask yourself, what is the greatest problem that they're facing, the top 10 problems that they're facing, that they need help with? And then you're going to figure out how your solution solves those 10 problems. And that's your content.
You can't just get muscles like Billy. Everyone wants to be great, but only few actually get there. And I'm on a mission to find out what all the greatest have in common. I've traveled tirelessly to find, sit down, and talk with GOATs. People that are arguably the greatest of all time at what they do. Sales, marketing, advertising, business, podcasts, branding, you name it. The way they do things may be different, but they all seem to see the world the same way. To them, success is not only achievable, but inevitable. And we'll get inside their heads as they share their expertise with me each week. My name's Mike Arce, and this is The GOAT Show. This episode is sponsored by Loud Rumor. If you own a fitness studio, cryotherapy, or massage business, there is no company in the industry better at generating high-quality leads than Loud Rumor. In just the last 2 years, Loud Rumor has worked with nearly 1,000 fitness and wellness companies and won ranking Arizona's Ad Agency of the Year in 2017. Getting more paying members in the door can be tough. Let Loud Rumor do the heavy lifting and get new people in your doors every day. Go to loudrumor.com and learn more. Also sponsored by Agency GSD. Starting a digital agency was definitely one of the best decisions I've ever made. Building it, however, was a lot more challenging than I expected. I always wish someone just gave me a roadmap that I could follow and just let me be a fly on the wall at the successful agencies out there so I could really see how it's done. Agency GSD allows you to do just that. Stop playing small and visit agencygsd.com to learn how to help hundreds of clients get it to 7 figures and be extremely profitable along the way. Again, go to agencygsd.com. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Arce. Welcome back to another episode of The GOAT Show, where we sit down and talk with people that are arguably the greatest of all time at what they do. And today, I'm here with Mr. Billie Jean Shaw of Billie Jean is Marketing, the GOAT of video ads. What's up, man?
That.
All right.
I just, first of all, can I thank you for having me? But just the GOAT, just when you're the title of the GOAT, I feel like I have to over-deliver on this show. So make sure you got your notepads out and stuff, because I'm going to bring some fucking fire.
I know it's coming. I know it's cool. I've sat down with you so much, just so everybody's listening and watching. How I met Billy was kind of interesting. I was talking to this one guy who was working with like some gym or something like that, and he said, yeah, you should check out Billie Jean is Marketing. And I go, yeah, is he good? He's like, yeah, he's really good. And so then I talked to another person, and she's like, oh yeah, this guy Billie Jean, I mean, his stuff's like magic. I'm like, magic? What do you mean magic? She's like, yeah, he just gets in leads. I was like, all right. So then I Googled you, and this is back before you started doing stuff. So you were really focusing more on the clients at that point. You hadn't really focused on yours yet. I couldn't find a website. I couldn't find an article.
I didn't have a website for a long time.
Oh my God, nothing. There was nothing. You didn't exist. And I was like, who is this guy? He's like a phantom. And then I think I ended up seeing an ad that came up. So you it magically targeted me. Telepathically, you knew. I was like, this guy's searching for me. I'm going to run him an ad.
Dude, and that's even today we see those challenges because whenever we're advertising, it doesn't live anywhere, right? There's not like you said, there wasn't a website for a long time. You couldn't see the content on our fan page. We weren't doing like a YouTube channel, but people would see our stuff all the time because there was advertising. So even now, I still feel a little phantom-ish because we're just now really building our social profiles.
It's fast though.
Yeah,
very
really
fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little about that. Then, guys, just so you know, then I saw the ad. Your ad was really cool, where it wasn't anything I've seen before, where you literally went into I think it was Massage Envy, and you had just spontaneously said, hey, we're going to go ahead and run some ads for you in the next 24 hours. We're going to see how we do. And then you showed your team working on stuff, and then At the end, you interviewed the guy, and that was part of the video, and he got like 200 some leads in a day or something like that.
So it was called a Billie Jean Blitz, and we did that because I felt like everybody in the industry who had a marketing agency, all they would do is just tell people how great they were. Oh, I'm so good at this. And I'm like, dude, no one's actually showing anything. So I said, forget it. I'm going to call up a client, and I'm going to bring them customers live. I'm going to record the entire process, and then I'm going to put that as an advertisement to attract customers, because while everybody else is telling, I'm going to demonstrate, and that model is still what we do today and what separates us.
Yeah, it got me, 100%. That was your first, I think that was like your first real good video. Like every other
It was
video.
not, Mike, but
it wasn't. Well, I mean, before
it was on the gooder side.
I mean,
but
for me, because I went back and saw the other ones. I mean, they may have like a good like video editing and stuff like that, but to me, like the whole message and everything behind it, to me, that was the one that really started hooking.
It was improved. It
was
was improved.
Like now you got it all. Yeah. So yeah, I reached out to Billy, and he was, even though he wasn't anywhere to be found, and he was just starting, he was too big to get on the call with me. I was like, let me talk to Billy, and they're like, oh, Billy's a really busy man. Like I was like, come on, the guy's got, doesn't even have a Facebook page? Who is this guy? And they're like, no, he's a really busy guy. I was like, look, I'll sign up with you. I want to talk to Billy. And as big as he is, to make a sale, you had to get on a call.
I got on a call.
So you got on a call, still very busy, about to have a baby at the time.
Yeah.
You were about to have your baby.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But then I signed up with you, and then we did like so I signed up for your course, got value out of that, and then I signed up for like a 6.5 week coaching thing with you, coaching one-on-one deal, and that was really great.
We worked there for like a year, I think.
Work together? Yeah. Well, yeah, but I'm saying I signed up for a 6.5 thing.
Yeah.
I signed up for a 6.5 thing. That was the next thing. It was like 6 weeks or 8 weeks for like $6,500 or something like that. And then after that, I mean, we just continue to work together, and now we're good friends, and now it's great. So what I wanted to do with all you guys here.
And sorry, I learned a ton from Mike also, so I appreciate the props, but I learned a lot from this way too.
I appreciate that. All right, so what I want to do in this interview here, and for everybody watching and listening, I want you guys to get stronger with ads, because video ads, Billy's proven it, and a lot of people are proving it more and more as they're following. Video ads is the easiest way to really get the great type of attention, really show who you are, what you do, how you do it, and then get people to want to opt in, get people to want to do business with you. It got me to do business with you. So I want you guys to learn how to do it. And also, I mean, now you've got a studio. We're in his studio right now, and it's really great. You got tons of cameras, but it didn't start out this way.
No.
So there's a way to still do good video ads without having everything you've got. And like you said, we've improved, and you can do that as earnings come in.
Correct.
Right? Okay. So let's start with, let's say there's a guy right now, and this guy watching, he's like, all right, I've got a little money. I don't got a lot of money, but I want to be able to run ads. Okay. I've got a Canon T500 or something like that, or he's got an iPhone or whatever. Like, what are some things at that level we can start with, and then we'll work into like some other stuff.
So the first thing, if you don't mind, I want to just add a little context about like advertising, because a lot of people like a lot of business owners watching this, I guarantee you, take pride in the fact that I've never spent $1 in ads. My business is doing $500 grand a year, and I've never spent $1 in advertisements. Why should I start spending now? Because you want to grow. Like any company that is really ramping up, that's like if your like sales, annual sales look like this, where they kind of start off, right? So you start to get some referrals, so you're here, you're like, man, this thing's really working. But then what happens is you start to go like this, and you flatline. And business just kind of stays here. Maybe it drops down a little bit. Maybe it even falls short completely, but you definitely don't see any spikes. The reason why that happens in companies is because they do not have a predictable and consistent way to get customers in front of you. So the people who live on referrals very, very rarely actually ever scale. And paid ads is the way to do that. So Mike's question is, well, shit, like how can people do that when they don't have a giant budget? And this is where I want everyone to switch your mindset from marketing being an asset and not an expense. And what I mean by that is, even if I take $100, okay, not a ton of money, but everyone can find $100. If I were to advertise today, and in that advertisement, as a result of that advertisement, I sell something that's $100, and I make back that $100 in the same damn day, did I really lose any money?
Nope.
No, I broke even. I just spent $100 and I got it back later that day because someone bought my product or service. So what if I repeat that process every single day for 30 days? Now all of a sudden I spent $3,000 for the month of June or July or August, as opposed to $100, but it was only the same $100 that I actually needed on hand. So take a month like our company on our brand when I spend $300,000. People go, oh my gosh, I can never afford that. I just reinvest the same 10 grand every day, and I focus all of my effort on getting my return back as fast as possible, and that's the real game. When you see the scale come, it's because people get that little concept, and that's when you see brands go on fire. You take like video advertisements like the Dollar Shave Club. They saw that it works and they're making money. Ty Lopez, how he grew his brand. Dude, this was just repetition and reinvesting that cash.
Right.
So that's the principles behind all of it.
And you were talking about referrals. Obviously everybody wants hot leads and warm leads. Yeah. Everybody, right? But really a hot lead is a referral.
Yeah.
And you got your warm leads where these people are walk-ins, or they've seen you're kind of been following you for a while, and now it's like, all you have to do is talk to the guy and you're ready to buy. And then you got your cold leads, which comes from like ads, right? And so everybody wants hot leads. So sometimes they're like, dude, I can't take cold leads. And I say, here's the deal. How about if I just get you a bunch of hot leads? Would that be good? Only hot leads. He's like, you can do that? Yeah. I thought it was just referrals. Yeah, I'm going to get you a ton of hot leads, more than you've ever had. He goes, okay. And I go, do you care if I do it directly or indirectly? I don't care. Okay, so how I do it doesn't matter. No, okay, great. We're gonna get you a ton of cold leads, a ton of them. You're gonna convert them into members that you didn't have before, and now you got more members to refer you business that you didn't have, and now you're gonna have more hot leads than you've ever had because you have more members to bring them to you.
Exactly, but it started with the cold.
It starts with the cold leads, right? Like you can't just go to the high, you can't just get muscles like Billy. You gotta first start
Make sure when they edit that, they're like
running in place. And then you start benching 400 pounds.
Boom, exactly, which is what I do every single day.
So, all right, so let's talk about the concept of video ads before we dive into building it out. So, what do you think is it about video ads that kind of like started changing the game?
Yeah. So take that first concept that we just went through of advertising. Now you're understanding that the fastest way to grow your business and to get customers right now is paid advertisements. Like that's because what happens is, the reason why a lot of you aren't creating video is the reason why the opportunity is what it is. Because there's this barrier to entry, meaning, oh my gosh, like what am I gonna look like on camera? Oh no, like let me lose 10 pounds first. Like, oh no, let me do this, my hair, my makeup, da-da-da. You find all these reasons to not put out the content. Everyone's dealing with those same fears. And as a result of that, there's just less people doing video. But if I ask anyone in business and I say, hey, what's the reason why somebody buys from you? And everybody will tell you the same thing or something along it. And it sounds like this: because they know, like, and trust you. Well, the same process happens online. People want to know, like, and trust you. So tell me this, who do you guys trust? The image that you see that anybody can get from Google Images or freaking Photoshop, or would you trust a 60 to 120 second video of someone actually showing what they do? Obviously, it's going to be the video because it forces you to trust the person more. When I started creating videos, the reason why I did it was out of fear and insecurity. I had this insecurity that I was 24, this African American kid, I'm still black, that didn't graduate from college, that cursed like a sailor, that had this crazy big personality, and I was selling to typically 45-year-old white men with family, like college degree. So I said to myself, these people are never going to take me seriously. And I knew the only way to overcome that was to make sure that I came with more proof than anyone else, because nothing sells like proof. So I started making videos to show everybody what I can do. So all of those other insecurities I had in my mind didn't matter. And then all of a sudden, when I made these videos like the one you talked about with Massage Envy, and I was demonstrating, I realized something, that the only color that people cared about was green. Can this guy or girl produce the results? And dude, I was producing. And that's when I really realized, holy cow, video is everything. And then secondly, a lot of people talk about building your brand, building your influence, building your impact. Well, video, like the first rule of marketing is to be remembered.
Right.
Video helped me be remembered. People knew who I was. And then I started wearing the same t-shirt, I am marketing, all day long, and every single shirt, I am marketing, I am marketing. People are like, oh, there's that like marketing dude, like da-da-da. And they just started to remember. So the fastest way to build a brand is through videos, hands down. And so, yeah, man, that's kind of how it began. And now, I mean, fast forward today, our advertisements have now been seen over 276 million times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that between Facebook, YouTube?
Between Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so when you think about that impact, right? Like how many people, how many impressions? My dad, I talked about this, in previous episodes. My dad owned a Gold's Gym back when I was a kid in the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy would be working his butt off to be able to get like flyers out, and he'd sponsor little league teams, and he'd make us like staple a business card to a candy when on trick or treating, so like we couldn't hand out candy without it being stapled to a business card.
Yeah.
Right. So all to get an impression.
Yeah.
And it would cost more money. It would cost way more time. But he didn't even think about convert. We're spoiled now. Now it's all like, well, tell me about the conversions. Tell me about the conversion. It's like, look, the conversions are great. That's a bonus, but impressions got value.
Yeah, dude, and I mean, you got to think about it. Like, in addition to that, back in the day, it was like you're just kind of getting your message in front of anybody who would listen. Those 276 million times our ads have been seen are all seen by entrepreneurs that we targeted. So they're not just like anybody. These are concentrated as hell. And also, too, what this allows you to do is to create your own celebrity. People say like, well, how do you get famous? How do you get that impact? You buy it. You buy it. Now, I want to flip that on you. Some of you are saying, well, I don't want to freaking pay to play. I don't want to, do any of this. But here's the thing. If I've made more money than I've spent on my advertising, did I buy my fame or did it pay for me to become this?
And
you see what I'm saying?
And that's the other thing too. I've now, over the last couple of years, been able to hang out with some really good marketers.
Yeah.
And it is a trend, it's a pattern. Marketers will never talk about or brag about how much they've saved on marketing.
Yeah, never.
They will brag about how much they've spent on marketing. I've spent $1 billion on Yahoo. I've spent, $400 million on Facebook.
Yeah.
They brag about how much they spend because they know when they're talking to a real marketer, they can do the math and equate that to like a really successful marketer.
100%.
Right? Like you don't just spend 400 million.
Yep.
You don't just have 400 million.
You can't unless you're doing something right.
Right. So for all you guys listening and watching, think about that. Like spend. And your conversations when you're talking to the person on your marketing team that's doing it for you, conversation shouldn't be like, how can we save more money this month in marketing? It should be, where can we put more? Or how can we spend more of it?
And it's the classic example is if you put, my boy, shout out to Vince Reed, Vince, but if you were to take a slot machine and you were to put $1 in, and every single time you put $1 in, you get $1.25 out. How much would you put into that slot machine?
Yeah, billions of dollars.
As much as you could. You would not stop.
Right.
And that's the flip. Marketing as an asset versus an expense. See the difference? And so going back to video with this is video. So right now, if you talk to majority of business owners in 2018, 2019, and you say, what's your business plan to get more customers? Every single one of them is going to mention Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google.
Right.
And what I want people to realize is that every single one of those platforms that people go on, they go on for one reason, to be entertained. So when your business comes into play here and you're trying to sell something and everybody went here to be entertained, guess what your message does? It dies. So I realized early on that if I want these people to listen to me, I need to meet the customer where they're at, and I got to give the customer what the they want. Right. They want to be entertained. So in the videos that I'm creating, I'm gonna entertain them. Right. I'm gonna make them laugh. I'm gonna show them what they want, and then only once I entertain them, that's me earning their attention. And once I have their attention, now I can educate them. Right. I can educate them. So in me, when I'm in the space of helping businesses grow, sure, maybe in one of my advertisements, I'm driving around in my Ferrari with my daughter. Why? Because when we were kids and we're like, I want to build a business, you got posters on your walls of the Ferraris, and that's what people think they want. That's what they believe happiness is going to get them. Now, I know damn well that's not what's going to make them happy, and that's not going to get them to the promised land. But I need to meet them where they're at so that I can actually deliver my message. Right. So I have an obligation and responsibility to do that shit to make sure I can really impact the masses the way that I want to.
Okay, so now let's go back to that original question. Somebody just heard all this and says, all right, I get it. I'll start doing video ads.
Cool.
Where do I start? I got an iPhone.
Sure.
Okay.
First of all, I hate all Apple products. I'm a Droid guy. First thing you do is you trade in your Apple, anything, get a Samsung. It actually doesn't really matter, okay? And you go like this, you press the button, you hit camera mode, and then you hit record.
You just do it like that.
And you just make a video. So you just make a video, and like it's simple. So you mentioned earlier, like now people see my ads and be like, look at this big production. But dude, it just started with me just pressing play and recording. My first studio setup was a green screen that I got on Amazon for, I believe, like 30 bucks.
I remember that.
Some studio lights for another $50. So it was like I think 80 bucks total package. My cell phone and a microphone that had a super long cord that went into my phone right underneath my shirt. I think the whole package was less than 100 bucks. And that's when I started making my first videos. How did I learn how to do them? I took the tutorials that the softwares gave and I just practiced religiously.
What softwares?
Camtasia was one of them. That was the biggest one that I did editing on.
Okay.
It's so user-friendly relative to the rest. It's basic, it's entry level, but it's effective as hell. So Camtasia, a lot of the times they have a 30-day trial and it works like crazy. So that's what I recommend everybody do is you pause the video right now, type in on Amazon, Studio Box Lights, okay, cool, lavalier microphone, make sure it's compatible with your cell phone, and then get a tripod, then download Camtasia, 30-day trial, free trial if they have, and you can literally start making videos right now today. Then the next question they ask themselves is, well, damn, Billy, once I have a video, what do I actually talk about?
Right.
Super. Take a piece of paper out right now, draw a giant capitalized T, like the letter. On the left-hand side, you write problem. The right-hand side, you write solution. Then in the bottom right corner, I want you to put audience. I want you to get clarity on who exactly is your ideal customer. Is it a male, female? How old are they? What college did they go to? What TV shows do they watch? What clubs do they hang out? Really get this perfect person in your head and then ask yourself, what is the greatest problem that they're facing? The top 10 problems that they're facing that they need help with. And then you're going to figure out how your solution solves those 10 problems. And that's your content. All you do is pick a different problem that they're having and you create a solution-oriented video, like 1 to 3 minutes. You upload these to YouTube. You title them how to blank, how to blank, how to blank. That's a strategy that's going to consistently bring you in customers that doesn't cost you a dime because all of that's free. But then when you really want to get it to the masses, you take a step back. You look at those 10 videos and you see which one is getting the most reach, the most comments, and what's generating any sales. And then you spend $100 in advertising to show more people that fit that audience and see if the metrics stay the same. Hey, if I can show this to 1,000 people a day and just one person buys and they're buying a $200 product and I only spend $100 in ads, holy shit, I'm making $100 a day, repeat, and yeah.
Okay. So do I have permission to put you on the spot?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool.
It's funny he asked me that question. He knows damn well. He put me on the spot.
Yeah. So I want you to create I want you to imagine you're doing a video ad right now.
Yep.
First time. Now, obviously, it's got to be something you know about because you got to know the problems and solutions. So let's say if your problem is you don't know how to play NBA 2K, okay,
Yes.
and you let's say have tutorials on how to be a better NBA 2K player.
Yeah,
I know
it's an
you know
Xbox
about
video
that.
game for those of you that don't know.
Yep. So
That's my real goat. The goat of NBA 2K19. I actually want you to put that on my title. I'd really appreciate it.
I can't wait till you get your gift.
I'm
It's
excited.
coming on Wednesday.
Okay, I'm excited.
And I'm so excited to give it to you. It's should I tell them?
Don't tell me. Let me just be. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't
Okay.
do it. Don't tell me.
Okay.
But add it in the edit.
But
later
just
so
know
they
it's
can see it.
relative. It's
Okay.
relative. Okay, so you've got this program. There's like a course. It teaches people how to be a better NBA 2K player.
Yeah.
And so now you want to create a video ad. You're starting from scratch. You don't have all this stuff. You just started this business. You were broke. Okay. And now go ahead and what would you say to that camera?
I love it. So, concept, I'll just quick recap. Hey, I have a course on how to become a better NBA 2K player on Xbox. So I would go to YouTube. Actually, I'll start with Facebook because more people know how to use Facebook. So on Facebook, you can advertise specifically to people who like NBA 2K19. And every year, this franchise puts out a new game. So there's NBA 2K18, 17, 16, 14. But here's the thing. There's a Facebook fan page for all of it. So all I need to do on Facebook is go into the back end and literally click one button or type in one thing that just says NBA 2K, select it, and now I'm advertising to people who like NBA 2K and most likely own it. Boom, my targeting is done just like that.
Okay.
Now I have to understand their problems, and I'm gonna go into pain here. Now when people are playing Xbox, people are like, well, what problems could you have playing video games? It's not really a problem, think it's fun. That's not true. If me and Mike were to play one-on-one right here live in front of like thousands of people, we would probably be so competitive because neither one of us wants to lose.
This actually did happen, and we did get competitive.
And I whooped his ass. But we would talk.
I won. I won.
I let him win. It was in front of his team.
Okay.
So, anyways, we would the pain that we would both be wanting to avoid is the embarrassment. And bigger than the embarrassment is the shit talking that every single time I pick up the phone, it's just this constant batter, right? Like banter. Like it would just drive us crazy. That's the real problem. So in my video, I would show me and Mike playing, and then, by the way, this is all going to cost me nothing. I'd take my cell phone out, I'd have one of my knucklehead friends film, and I'd have me and Mike playing, and I'd look at the camera just like this. I'd be like, yo, do you guys play NBA 2K? Fourth quarter, we got 30 seconds left. I'm up by 2 right now. I guarantee you I'm going to beat my boy, and I'm about to talk so much smack to him. Then I would have the camera watch the TV screen as we played out the last 30 seconds. I would dominate that ass, and I know they'd be watching because they all play NBA 2K, so they'd want to see what would happen. And then I had them go like, ah! And I would do a compilation of me talking shit to Mike, making jokes. I'm talking like 10 to 20 rapid fire jokes, like, you're nothing, da 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 da, like, I own you, I'm your daddy, blah blah blah, all the things there, and Mike just getting so heated. And then I'd stop, and I'd come to the camera and I'd say, is there anything worse than this feeling right now? My name is Billy Gene, I'm 2K God. And if you want me to show you how to get better so you never end up like this guy, click here. I have a free tutorial that I'm going to show you my 3 best, you can call them secrets, I hate that word, the 3 best like ball handling techniques, my 3 best shooting techniques so you never miss a shot again. But click through here, I'll send you to the training for free, I'll text message to you also, name, email, and phone number, boom. They click, they give me their name, email, and phone number, now I got a lead. Now I give them like a 7-minute tutorial that I film with a cell phone on my screen, and I show them how to get better. And then I say, by the way, if you found this helpful, every single Tuesday I go live. I do a live stream for 2 hours, and I'm going to show you a new tactic every single week so your boys can never catch up to you, and you can talk shit to them forever. Click here if you want to buy it. Here's the deal, da 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 da, and that's it. I would spend $100 a day getting people there. I'd sell the course for like $200, and I'd hope to just sell 1 person a day, and I'd reinvest that money every single day, and I'd make a shitload of money while playing video games.
Because $100, how many people? That's amazing, by the way. Round of applause for Billy Gene. I know you guys can't clap. You guys can't clap.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we've got, let's say, first of all, this is a business idea. I'm almost like,
right?
like I'm thinking we should do this. Okay, so now you got $100 in a day. How many impressions would you guess that would get you? Meaning people seeing your ad.
You know, an impressions, like usually when you look at CPM, cost per impression, you're talking about showing an ad to 1,000 people, and what does that cost? Usually it could be anywhere from $1, $3, $5, $10. It kind of just depends on the medium, the audience that you're targeting.
Yep.
So, but here's the thing, I wouldn't even have people look at those metrics. There's only 2 numbers that I'd want you to pay attention to in that. His number 1 was the cost per lead. Meaning, how much did it actually take you to get the name, email, and phone number of someone who says, yes, I want to get better at NBA 2K, send me your stuff. And then your cost per sale is going to depend on what percentage of those leads that you closed. So without getting too mathematical or whatever, let's just say it costs you $1 a lead to get someone's name, email, and phone number. Well, if I wanted to sell, one of those things, that means, and I only spent $100, that means I'd have to close 1 out of 100 people. Super simple.
That sounds good. Okay, so now let's talk about some more advanced stuff because now we've got people watching the show. We covered the people that are starting out and they can move into this next stuff.
Yep.
We've also got people watching the show that are already, they've got money, they've got a good business, they can spend money on this stuff. Okay. So you've done really great videos. Let's show a clip of The Wolf of Wall Street. For yours, is it The Wolf of Advertising?
Wolf of Paid Advertising.
Wolf of Paid Advertising. So let's cut to that real quick.
That's the sound of opportunity knocking. Some entrepreneurs will skip this ad because they're allergic to opportunity.
Show them one little clip of The Greatest Showman.
Have you ever run a Facebook ad? Lost money and got really mad. That's a combo of sad and mad. Listen close and I'll fix your ads.
Wolf of Paid Advertising. When you thought of this idea, what was the intention? Like, what was the mindset around it?
So I'll try and give your audience tactics too for this. So now if you got a little bit of a budget and you fall in love with video the way I do and you want to invest, a couple of things. Don't go blind. It's not just like what you think will be cool and needing to be creative. Always try and copy genius when you can. So for example, I knew my audience was entrepreneurs for The Wolf of Paid Advertising. Then I said, okay, well, what's popular and mainstream for entrepreneurs? And there's only a couple really legendary entrepreneurial movies out there, right? Like the one where there's Coffee is for Closers, Glengarry Glen Ross. And then, you know, the Wolf of Wall Street with Leonardo DiCaprio was massive. So I said, okay, cool. I have a proven concept that people already said, I know, I like, I love. So let me roll with that and turn it into mine. And so really it's all about just identifying what's already working and then kind of piggybacking off of that. Also too, if you guys Google Trends, like literally type in Google Trends, it will tell you what people are talking about. So you don't need to like, you know, be the best at it. Just find out what's trending, what people are looking for, and then go to YouTube and find similar types of ideas. So if I say like, you know what, that'd be cool, Black Friday's coming up, Halloween's coming up, it'd be great to do it, then I would go to YouTube and type in best horror movies of all time.
Right.
And then literally they will give me, somebody's already compiled it out there in space, like the top 20 greatest movies, and I note a couple of things. Number one, I just watch to see which ones stand out to me, which one moved me, which clips move me. And then I say, okay, cool. And I look at those and I say, what's the lighting doing? How's the video? How's the color? Okay, cool. Like, what kind of shots are they doing? Are they tight? Are they far away? Are they zoomed? Are there any kind of like really popular scenes? So right now I'm finishing writing a Western, and like the kind of staples that you see in a Western is the gun draw scene, like, you know, wow, 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 tumbleweeds, props, and so you're writing these sounds. Exactly. So the three things that you want to focus on is props, music, environment, but the fourth thing that you always want to pay attention to is the camera shots, the angles, far, wide, medium, what are they doing overhead? And so you start to note these things, and then once you just do this exercise would take you like 20, 30 minutes. Once you notice this, now you have all these great ideas and you can blend it with something that you want to, you know, story you want to tell yourself.
So, and that's the same thing with The Greatest Showman. That's an entrepreneur movie as well. And so you just took the same thing and the dancing and all that?
That's exactly what it was. It was what entrepreneur thing is hot right now. I saw this Greatest Showman. I saw the movie. It almost made me cry. Almost, I don't cry. And I noticed like how powerful it was. And I said, okay, great. This thing is going to blow up. Let's piggyback off of it and let's make an ad for it.
Right. Okay. Now you did the same thing for 007. So now before I get into the 007 video, what was it about 007 that you like? Because was that really an entrepreneur movie, or what was that just something that you thought was...
Good question. So now, again, I've been writing and directing for a while now, right? So like my brain will go like even deeper into concepts and know I can tie it back to entrepreneurial. So, but the way that started is we had this product that we wanted to give away. And it was 25 of our best performing ad campaigns all on one USB drive. So my brain said, okay, I have this chip and we have this USB that everybody's going to want. Like literally every marketer is like, I just want to see what the hell they did. Let me plug in and play. So I knew we have desire. And then my first thing was like, wait, I can't give that to people. So I knew like there was this pool between the people really wanting it and me being like, no, I can't give that. And so my brain said like conflict about achieving the item. And every great James Bond movie is always him trying to find like some lost artifact or like something. So then my brain started going like Tomb Raider, James Bond, Then it was like, oh my God, that's it, 007. I gotta do it, you know? And so I totally just narrowed in on it. I said, here's this chip, people want it. And then I say feasibility, because I'm all about like these videos that you guys see us do, they take us like 2 days from it, when it comes into my brain to execution, 2-3 days max,
so
like 4 days.
Speed is a big thing you always talk about.
Speed is the only game. And the reason why speed is so important is because most of the shit that you guys test will not work. And a lot of people retreat because of it, and that's why you don't see the results with advertising. But the best advertisers, they just test so fast that we get data quicker. So for example, if I have an in-house team of media people right next door with 5 people, in a marketing team, a full on-time marketing team of 6 people, where we can put out ads like literally the morning of, by afternoon, I will know if something works or not and know if I need to do something else. That's the magic. Some people, to create a video ad, it's taking them 3 weeks to test. Okay. And if it doesn't work, the idea of going another 3 weeks is so off-putting, they quit.
Okay, cool. So what scene are we cutting to right now of the 007? Which part do you want to show?
We got to do the fight scene. So like there's a little bit of the poker scene. Like with Dr. Leadless, we played this game of, I'll let you guys see it.
There's only one chip that you have that I want, and it's not on the table. Ivana, hold my whiskey.
All right, so that was cool. Now there's one more I want to show everybody. And it was like Pirates of the Caribbean, or is it just Pirates?
Yeah, it was Pirates of the Caribbean. Matter of fact, and by the way, to show you how passionate I get about these videos, the fight scene that you guys saw, we would have never been able to do it. So I actually hired one of the fight coordinators that actually worked on a Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Really?
Yeah, and they're more available than you think and more affordable than you think, because you guys, there's not a ton of this stuff that goes on.
Right.
And so to film it is really hard to make sure you capture those scenes. And so we did an okay job of it in the ad, more than what you'd see in our world. But there's another level to it too. But yeah,
wow. What
I want you guys to pay attention to here is the importance of environment. Environment can literally make a video ad just feel so different. So we actually rented out one of the pirate ships, like the Star of India or some here in San Diego, and we just rented it for the day. And then we did costumes at this place called Buffalo Breath, which they allow you to do same-day rental. So look at the outfits and look at the actual ship and just see the impact it makes.
You are lost in a sea of Facebook and YouTube videos. But no matter where you run, hide, or click, my advertisements seem to find you. Who are you, and why are you on my ship?
I am a marketer looking to join your camp, Captain.
Now you're just constantly rolling out more and more videos, and it's clear you see the value in it. Mm-hmm. You teach it, and you've invested more. Like right now, if any of you guys heard beeping going on in the background, Billy's office that was initially, 5,000 square feet, something like that? The one the one that I was in before.
It was it was like 3,500 probably.
3,500 square feet. Now you've literally taken over more suites, and how big is it going to be now? It's going to be 10,000, 12,000?
Yeah, triple that,
Triple that? Yeah. So, and you've got an entire studio, you've got cameras everywhere, you've got a podcast studio area, you've got an entire area for your video people to edit. Yeah. So you are fully committed.
I believe that a video department is going to be a norm in a business, just like a sales department is.
Really?
Because you guys should really pay attention to what I'm about to say next. If it's not posted on social media or your website, it didn't happen. And I know that sounds stupid, if you post it never happened, but I'm serious, think about it. If a customer's trying to find you and they look for your stuff and as a company you accomplish X, Y, and Z and da-da-da-da-da, but there's nowhere for them to see it, then it never happened for them. Mm-hmm. That's not the experience that they have. So it's a requirement now, you guys. You really got to do it. And here's the other thing I want to note, because I kind of showed you two examples of UCR production where we go all out on, but then I also started off by saying all you need is your cell phone. By the way, our most profitable ads to date, and the ones that have been seen probably the majority of the time, are not these high production ones. It's the simplest ones where I take off my cell phone like this, and I'm just hey, and I talk to the camera. You should show them a 45-second clip of the office tour.
The office tour?
Yep, a simple office tour. It's our most profitable ad, and it took us 30 minutes to film, and it was shot on my cell phone, and it was straightforward. So
is that the one where it's wait, that
exactly.
one?
Hey, I just spent a lot of money getting this advertisement. And I want you guys to know that here's the difference between the production ones and then that, because one is more profitable and our cost per lead is cheaper. The fancy ones help us build a brand that's remembered. People remember us. When I'll get into a cab or a Lyft or an Uber, and literally people will turn around and go, they remember these moments, those stories. That's what makes us remembered as a brand. So having the balance between hey, I'm selling you something, and more the straightforward talk, and there is just giant. And then also too, note, for being remembered, YouTube is the best vehicle for that right now, because when the ads show up, in-stream ads right there, before the video that you wanted to watch, there's no distractions. It's just you there in between that thing that they're waiting for, and they're so effective. Right. Facebook, when they see you, it's cool, but they're just scrolling through, and you're one of 1,000 things that's going there. So from a brand, as me being out in the streets, and it's hey, Billie Jean, that's YouTube. YouTube is the best for that, hands down.
And when you guys, as consumers, if you go and look at this is what the best companies are doing. Nike will have ads. If you look at their stuff in magazines or any type of catalogs, or when you're looking at signs or even ads that you get retargeted to where these Nikes are on sale for this amount, right? Yeah. Get 30% off the Nike outlet. They have ads, but then they have videos like that. I don't know if you saw the new Serena Williams where she's a little girl. And
it's tight.
There's no call to action at the end.
Yep.
It was just
the brand.
This is what Nike believes in, and we're going to talk about this because this is what we love to talk about.
Yep.
Right? And that's us. And so businesses don't really use that balance. They don't value it, right? And you hear agencies ruining it for them, because I heard agencies say stuff like, oh yeah, everybody's talking about branding. Branding means nothing. You want to run ads, and it's like, it's not true. You got to do a good balance of both, because what separates them from hiring you than the other guy if it's just an ad? It's your price. There's no feeling, I don't feel like I need, the people go to Nike because there's that feeling of like competitiveness, that victory that comes, that's tied to it, right? Michael Jordan, LeBron, all those people that wear Nike, right? And then some other people hit harder with Under Armour, whether it's Steph Curry, like it's who you align with, right? Otherwise, every athlete would just go to Nike. Like they know, like I've got my fan base.
It's a real thing. And also too, like something that I've seen being consistent on the advertising side, because I used to be on that side that Mike's talking about, like I didn't even have a website when he was talking, because I was so hard on this advertising thing, the direct response. But like that was me thinking short term, and I was really just getting out of survival mode for the company. But now as I take a step back and I look at this ship and I say I want to build something that lasts forever, and a brand, a legacy that lasts forever, that's when I'm really starting to think about brand and the impression. And it comes to pay, because I have people who literally have been following us for like 2 years that is like, hey man, I just finally decided to pull the trigger now. People just organically go into our website. Our website, keep in mind, this is a big mistake that I made. I wasn't doing any website shit at all. Hector's like, dude, we got to go this website. So we started investing into our website. Our website will do like $2,000 to $5,000 a day in sales, just from people searching shit and like finding us, this whole brand thing.
A day.
And I was ignoring it. I completely ignored it. I just was too cool for it. Look how much money I just lost for my too cool shit. Arrogance and ignorance. Those are the two things that will stop any entrepreneur from succeeding.
Yeah, because you're losing money even while making it if you're not optimizing how much you could have made.
Exactly.
Right. If you could have made $20,000 a month, but you only made $5,000, you're losing $15,000 a day. Right. If you could say I'm making $5,000 a day, you can look for that, but you can also say I'm losing $15,000 a day.
Exactly.
Right, or more. So all right, great. So tell me about some of the students, because now you've got, man, how many people are you coaching right now?
I think there's 5,000.
5,000
like about
people
5,000.
that are going through your program regularly. They're looking at your stuff. They're learning from you. So, yeah, 5,000 people. I mean, what is like?
It's a university. It's a school. That's like school numbers.
So, like, tell me about it. Like, I go in there. I get it because I'm a part of it. But you know, for the people that don't get it, because yours is a little bit more unique. That's what I like about it.
I think I'll kind of put this in context a little bit. Like, people need to understand how much this online world just is the world. Meaning, I think people separate it. So, for example, Shark Tank, something that your audience has probably all seen before. When that airs on a Friday night, they may debut and get about 5 million people to watch that, an episode. 5 million, 8 million, maybe to 4, 3 million, depending on the season. You guys realize that when we're cranking with our ads will be seen 1 million times a day. So within 5 days, we're getting the same amount of attention as a Shark Tank. People they don't connect the two worlds. Like, it's just as relevant. So your transition to your question about the teaching, I lost myself.
Well, it's okay. So we were saying, like, tell me about this, because it is unique. Like, I know that you go live a lot. And so you've got your course where, like, teaches people what to do, like little step-by-step courses.
Got it.
But then you've also got your lives, and you've got like a lot of tools.
So that vehicle, that 1 million views or whatever that we're getting, all of that is used to garner attention, to bring people to where I can educate them, right? So that 1 million views, that's the entertainment part. Then the educate part is, hey, you need to buy this. And my thing was, I went to University of San Diego. I never graduated. My parents invested about $200,000 into there. I took like 40 classes, or however many classes we take, and I do not believe genuinely there's but 1 or 2 of them that I actually use in my business right now. So you know the deal, but like when we coach small businesses that $250,000 a year, $500,000 a year, trying to get to the $1 million a year, which by the way, only 4% of businesses do. The biggest things that they need are marketing, sales coaching. They need to understand social media, video content, all the things that we're talking about today. College talks about 0 of those. It's a broken system, it's flawed, and it doesn't move fast enough to keep up with the changes. So that's why we go all in on this membership site and teaching thing. So first thing I said is, for most people around the country who look like me, meaning minorities and a lot of white people too who just don't have, affording like a $200,000 education is not realistic.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna make this shit affordable. To anybody who has a computer and a cell phone, I'm going to teach live in our studios every single week for $109 a month.
Right.
So I'm teaching practical shit for a fraction of the price where you don't need to freaking take out crazy loans and pay interest for 20 years. And that's really where the motivation to build the studio came. And then I went to church and I walked, it's called The Rock here in San Diego. And I walked in and there was like 3,000 people there. And I felt this energy. People were singing, people were crying, people were holding each other. There was this bond. And then I realized something. There's power in proximity. And I was like, holy shit, this online world has got me so jaded to just like a laptop and a computer. I forgot about this connection. So what's happening downstairs in our office is we're building out a live studio where we can have a live studio audience. But then marrying that with the entertainment factor. So it's gonna feel like Saturday Night Live meets Ellen, meets church, meets school. All in one, and really bring this fun part to education in an affordable way and giving people the chance to actually come to San Diego, learn live, be around like-minded people more than once or twice a year at the business conferences that we attend.
That's really cool.
That's the whole game.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you got an event coming up here. Now, for those of you guys who watch this video, it's actually coming out after your event.
Okay.
So, but when this is being shot right now.
We just had it and it was amazing.
Yeah, it was great. But you've got this thing going in October, and one of the things that a video that you made that I thought was really good, and I don't think we necessarily need to show it,
Sure.
but it's an emotional thing. You were talking about how you really just want to get back in shape, right?
Yep.
And that one did really well.
Yeah, weight loss,
And,
$1 million weight loss challenge.
$1 million weight loss challenge. And you even got the attention of like Russell Brunson, who would like message you about it or something like that. So talk to me about like, that, like why did you decide to, number one, do the challenge? Why did you decide to let the world in on it, and how's it been going?
So something that's really helped our brand and our message and helped us help other people is unforgiving transparency. Like if you guys have seen my videos, I am the same exact person that you see on camera, and that may be for better or for worse. There's some parts of me that I probably shouldn't have put on camera. But the one thing that I realize is in these ads that we create, I'm always able to show the most successful parts. I'm always able to show the cool cars, the company culture, the office, dressing up as James Bond, all these fun things. And I'm scrolling through Instagram, and I'm looking, everyone's just putting their best foot forward. So for most of my life, I was super in shape, like really in shape, most in shape person I knew. You can put up a picture. We'll give it, let's put this.
Amazing body.
Yeah, so like that was the identity I knew, and once business came and being a dad, dude, I made health like the last priority. And I'm just like, what the am I doing, Billy? Like, get your shit back together. And I got all the way up to 300 pounds. And so I was like, dude, this is crazy. Like, I need to get back, like, on my shit. This is unacceptable. And what kind of example am I leading for, like, everybody watching? Like, that's not the message I want to put out to the world. So I said, f it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to talk about this on live. I said, I'm going to do a 100-day challenge. And I said, I'm going to hold myself accountable. I said, if I don't lose in 100 days, lose 40 pounds, then I'm going to refund everybody who purchased a lifetime membership to my education that I talked about earlier. I'm going to refund them, which is well over $1 million. So I basically put myself on the spot. I made a video, I put my weight, I said, this is where I'm at. If I don't do it, I'm refunding everyone. And, I said also too, during that time, I wasn't going to drink. So I haven't had alcohol in like 65 days or whatever. I'm down 27 pounds right now from that challenge. And I think I'll end up by the challenge is done losing about 50 in that 100 days. Yeah. So it's good. So it's just like, and I connected with our audience in a different way. Like, yes, like I had people like reach out to me like, dude, I'm so glad you're doing this. I have other people message me like, yo, I'm going to get back on my health shit too. People like, I've lose weight. Like, it's crazy the impact. So I was just like, damn, like, it's amazing what a little honesty will do for your game. So I liked it because it felt good, because it wasn't like, I felt like we got to this point with our brand where it was kind of like, well, Billie Jean can do that because he's Billie Jean and he has resources and he knows these people and money. So I'm like, I want to show something where I'm back at square one. I'm last place, just like you guys, and I'm gonna go through the struggle live with y'all and broadcast and all those things. So it was just another way to feel connected and be real.
That's pretty cool. So what's the future of Billie Jean now with this new office that you have coming out and your school vision? Like, what's the future?
I want this to be a real thing. I want people to go, damn, should I go get like my MBA at like Harvard or Stanford, or should I just enroll into the School of Genius? That's it. That's it. Just like, and I want them to do it and know that it's 50 times more affordable, 100 times more applicable, and I want it to really rattle the schools. I want them to have conversations about it, and ultimately what we want as a company is we want to force the curriculum to change. Because right now, there's being people who are being manipulated and they feel like when they're, not to go too off topic, but I think this is an important message for everyone. Right now, there's millions and millions of people out there that are in poverty, that are uneducated, that genuinely believe as a result of going to college, it's going to solve their problems. And unfortunately, it's going to put them in more debt, and it's going to f them even more. That's dangerous. It has our economy upside down.
And this is coming from a guy that got a degree.
So I went to University of San Diego. I didn't finish my very last class. And the reason why I don't finish it is this principle. But it's just, but I had the college experience. I went 4 years and all that stuff is literally my last class. So it's not like I'm speaking from a place of, ooh, college is bad. It's just literally not equipping someone. There's no reason why someone should come out of college with a business degree, start a business and say, where do I begin? That's nuts. And to invest $200K to that you're paying, it's disturbing. No one's mad.
Now, this isn't just coming from opinion. No. You actually did research on this, and you got a forum in one of your videos.
Yeah.
So tell everybody about that. Like, what was this? Describe the video, because it's a longer video, and I don't know if we got time for a clip, because you got to see it. So just describe what you did.
Basically, we did this scam video where, this is a true story, this happened. So I said, F it. I said, I want to do a marketing competition against people who went to college and this new shit that we're doing. And so basically, we literally did a focus group where, no exaggeration, we put up an ad. We rented out one of those rooms where you can like see in, but they can't see out. You can kind of show them a clip of that. And we put up an ad on Craigslist like, hey, marketing plan competition, win X amount of dollars for the winner. And we got 5 people who went to good colleges, spent a lot of 5 or 6, and we put them in a competition. And I called up a random owner from Groupon. This is a true story, from Groupon. His name's Joseph. He owns a cryotherapy center down here in San Diego. And I said, hey man, you do not know me, but I'm Billy Gene. I have this marketing agency. There's going to be a competition, and I want these marketing students to build a business plan for you. Can you come in, and are you down to do that? Long story short, he came down, he did it. So literally you had these 5 people.
And you even showed how much debt they had.
I showed how much debt they had. You had 5 people who sat in a room, and then you had the business owner sit there too, and they pitched the business owner their plan. While simultaneously, I didn't ask the business owner any questions about his stuff. During the competition, not only did we come up with a business plan, we actually created an entire advertisement for him and brought him like 100 leads the very next day. And so we just demonstrated how like this school, and you'll see the video. Like,
what type of ideas did these,
oh, dude, I mean, some of them, and the point wasn't to like make fun of the people. It was to point out like what we were learning. But like some of them was like stand outside of there with a wheel. Some of them was like, plan this like big event. Some of them there was just all kinds of different stuff.
Nothing that was like a sustainable plan.
Nothing was sustainable. And so by the time they're coming with all these wild things, we literally built a Facebook ad from that start, sent them leads immediately. Like literally same day you got leads.
And probably cost them $100, $500.
Oh my, dude, it's crazy. You can watch it. You guys watch it. Like if you put a link to it, if you're curious, go look at it. But yeah, it's real, 100% real.
So we'll put that up there. But I mean, it's incredible when you really start looking at it that you've got schools kind of changing now. You can get a course, you can learn how to do almost anything through courses now or some sort of online course. And so that's what you're starting to build now. Yeah. And, I should say you're starting to build it. It's coming to fruition more and more as you've been really building this for the last like 3-4 years.
And think about that, dude. I mean, we got 5,000 students. Like you go to these schools, that's how many they have. So like, I don't separate us from that. The only thing that's been stopping us is having a building. And guess what? We got one now too.
Right, so, right. Yeah. All right, so for everybody that wants to kind of follow more of you so they can watch more of your videos, where do you want them to go?
Follow us on Instagram. We've been putting a lot of content there and going all on Instagram. Just Billy Gene Marketing. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook. All those mediums, we're consistently putting out content. I have more free trainings out there than I believe anyone in the world for a small business owner to start getting customers. And when I say I don't have the most videos, Gary Vaynerchuk has way more videos than us. But as far as how to actionable shit, I'll challenge anybody right now more than anyone in the world for free to access of tactical shit.
I verify that. Yeah. You put out stuff like every 3 times a week.
Tactical too. Super tactical shit.
A haircut.
Yeah.
You're giving people information. All right, cool. So guys, we just spent a good amount of time here with a GOAT, Mr. Billy Gene Shaw. Thanks so much for having me in. And for everybody watching, everybody listening, we'll see you next week.
Later.
Thanks for joining us today. If you like this episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel or find our podcasts on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever your favorite place to listen to podcasts might be. And if you really like this episode, please leave a review for us on iTunes. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.